I need to plug my phone in. Otherwise, this is going to be the shortest TikTok live in history. Otherwise, yeah, because my phone's going to go. See you later, Neil. Yeah, my phone is. I've just realised I've got hardly any battery. Anyway, we're plugged in. We're on charge. We're all good to go. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Facebook. We're live on the Tube. Good evening, everybody. How are we? How's your Monday been? I am wet. I am absolutely. I'm cold. I'm sat in. I've just took the dogs out. The weather is absolutely horrible. I put on my waterproof coat, which is obviously not very waterproof. It's actually too big for me now, and so it doesn't quite grip around. And anyway, yeah, I'm just sat in now. Yeah, cold. I'm ready for bed. Should do this live in bed. Sorry, I want to be snuggled up. Why is it cold in June? I was saying this to Ray. It's like, look, it is what it is. We live in the UK, so we've just got to accept it rains, right? Yeah, we might get the odd night. And don't wrong, we had an amazing May. But now going forward, you're going to get some rainy days. You're going to get whatever. Why is it cold, though? It's still June. It shouldn't be cold. Like, it's like 10 degrees or something today. Like, it should at least be, like, warm. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's a bit rainy and a bit miserable. You know, if you went to Spain now and it peed it down, it'd still be dead warm, right? It'd just be raining, right? Anyway, it is what it is. I think I'm just having a moment because I'm flipping cold. Right, anyway, we'll give it a couple of minutes because I have just come straight on. Then we'll do a top 5. How's your Monday been? Other than being cold and getting wet walking the dogs, my Monday has been rather decent, to be honest with you. Mondays for me are always manic. They really are always manic. And I need to change that. I don't know how I need to change that. I always end up chasing my tail a little bit and I flipping hate it. I just try and do too much. I've literally done today 2 worth of calorie reviews. I've done my weekly weight loss vlog. I've done a shopping haul video. I should have done the shopping haul tomorrow, really, but I've done that. I think I've done the shopping haul saying it's my 3rd one. I think it's actually my 4th one. I have no idea. I do enjoy doing those shopping hauls, though. I know I said I was going to go back into a supermarket, and I will be doing. But today, again, it wasn't even really planned. I was just like, I went into Aldi shopping and I've just ended up buying. I'm like, if I get more than 40 quid's worth of stuff, it's worth having a chat about it, isn't it? That's my sort of thing. Anyway, so I've done that today. So we've done a shopping haul video as well. I've not done any content. I need to get better at that. When I say any content, I mean like videos and stuff for TikTok and Reels and that. But I'll do that tomorrow. It's going to be a filming day tomorrow for sort of TikTok content. Anyway, there we go. Weight loss wise, it's been a very good day. I'm going to eat a full punnet of cherries in bed tonight. That's going to be my evening snack. And I have put those in my app. Where are we at calorie wise today? 1,850 calories. So calories have been very good today. Protein's been decent. Fiber's been decent. Saturated fat is decent. Sugar's decent. Carbs are fairly low. Salt slightly higher than I'd want than RDA. But other than that, my salt intake's always pretty high anyway because I drink a hell of a lot of water. So it's been a good day. We've been to the gym and trained. So we've done some training in the gym, done 15 minutes or so on the cross trainer, done a good 30-minute weight session. And step-wise, we've done 12,790 steps. So we've ticked the boxes. And I always talk about this. I always talk about laying a good foundation for weight loss. And certainly at the beginning of the week, let's try and nail a Monday, Tuesday. Honestly, try and nail. You nail your Monday, Tuesday, the rest of the week kind of just falls into place. I'm not saying that happens week in, week out. And a lot of you guys are like, I'm always it's Monday, Tuesday, Neil. It's bloody Friday, Saturday, Sunday where I go a bit tits up. I get that. But at least give yourself a fight. I think if you have a good Monday, Tuesday, you're giving yourself a fighting chance. Right, let's do top 5 before I waffle anymore. Callum, Evening, mate. Evening, Callum. Congratulations for your third place finish on the challenge, mate. Very well deserved indeed. Faye's in at number 2. Kelly C's in at number 3. Sheila's in at number 4. And Lauren is in at number 5. You are my top 5 this evening. Thank you very, very much for jumping on the live. Come and say hello. I've definitely put a filter on my. I feel I've put a filter on TikTok. I have no idea why, but I've got the reddest lips in the world, and I look like a little bit orange. So I've definitely swiped a filter on there somewhere or another. Anyway, I'll sort that out another time. Thank you very much, Callum. Not a problem at all. And congratulations to everyone. Faye finished joint second. I know I've had to split it up different to that. Sheila finished joint second. It was honestly such a close thing. I think I'm going to have to change it in September. I mean, I'm not saying any of you guys that have entered this one might enter September's for the run up to Christmas, but I think I'm going to have to change it slightly because you guys are just too good. Right? You guys are too good, honestly. And don't get me wrong. Look, you did what I asked you to do. And I never want to set things that are unachievable. I don't, it is a lifestyle change challenge. Whatever you did on the last week of the challenge, look, this is where you should be permanent. This is where you should be week in, week out, day in, day out. This is what you should be striving to aim for. It's nothing, if your last target of the challenge was to do 10, 11,000 steps, that's nothing out of the ordinary. That is what you should be doing. And I'm not saying it's not effort to do that sometimes. Yeah, it is effort at times. But, sticking to your calories, that is what you should be doing, Karen H, good evening. Martin's in. Evening, boss. Hope you're well, Neil. I'm very good, Martin. Thank you very much. Amy, good evening. Rach, evening, boss. Good evening, good evening. Not had a good day mindset-wise. Energy-wise and food followed that trajectory. Paula, why am I not surprised? Not that I'm doubting you. Please don't take that as a negative, honestly. But I can tell with your, I know this sounds daft, body language over text. Does that make sense? You can tell that I kind of had a feeling, and obviously Paula's one of my one-to-one clients, so we talk a bit. She'll understand what I'm saying here. I kind of knew you were going to have a tough week this week, but I want you to challenge yourself a little bit. I want you to, and I don't know what you've decided. I don't know what you've decided, whether you've decided to stick or twist. I don't know. I assume you've decided to stick, which might be why you're struggling a little bit, Thank you for encouragement. I stuck to it and it paid off. Roxy, more than welcome. Roxy, was this when you were maintaining it? Was this, just ring my bell a little bit in my head, just ding, 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 ding. Chuck me a little reminder. I got cherries for my stack side too. Honestly, it's cherries. Look, don't get me wrong. Any fruit is available all year round, isn't it, in this day and age? We've got amazing logistics. Oranges that were picked in Florida this morning can be in Tesco tomorrow afternoon. But, certain fruit is better in season. Like when we get to like August, September, you get British strawberries in supermarkets. They're much better than Spanish strawberries, right? Nothing against the Spanish at all. But strawberries in Spain, they're grown in, I'm not saying they're not grown like that here, but it's just they're sort of forced to grow, as it were. They're sort of in hotter environments. They don't quite nurture as much. They don't have the same flavour. Whereas your strawberries grown in this country are absolutely amazing. Grapes, if you ever buy a punnet of grapes and it says they are Chilean, right? So it's when they're in season in Chile. Because some months we'll get grapes from Spain. So when you get grapes from Chile, they are absolutely the best grapes you will ever consume in your life. They're absolutely amazing. Anyway, so cherries are, and when we do have things that come in season, Aldi at the moment have got like flat peaches in and a few other bits and pieces. I assume they're coming into season somewhere. I don't know. But cherries are definitely in season this time of year. It's like June, July, August, I think is kind of cherry season. Maybe up into September. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love them. And the King cherries, they're huge. Absolutely lovely. Right. James, good evening, mate. Let me scan up. I am, however, taking 5mg and planning to strop my way through the whole process. That's fine. That's why I don't. I think I genuinely think you've made the right decision there, Paul. Honestly, I do. You might disagree with me, and you strop away. That is your prerogative. We can strop whenever we want to. That's the beauty of being an adult. We're allowed to do what the hell we want. Looking forward to the next challenge. As long as my foot treatment has worked, so I can hit my steps. You know, Lauren, you did good. And to be fair, I had a couple of people in the challenge that had mobility issues through the challenge where things flared up. And I'll always adjust your goals to where you're at the moment. So if you twist your ankle or if you do something else, or, I had one person moving the challenge from not being on Manjaro to, they're like, I'm in the challenge, but I want to go. I'm like, absolutely fine. No one that's on MJ. Actually, there's only 3 people in the challenge that were on Manjaro out of 35 that entered. And no one that was on MJ actually placed in the tie, as it were. Otherwise, I would not have gone off weight, because at the end of the day, if you are going to use, I'm not saying it's a cheat. It isn't, right? It isn't. Weight loss is hard, whether you're using a tool like Manjaro, whether you're using a natural tool, high protein, high fiber diet, whether you're using both together. But I just didn't want anyone to go, well, how come that person's, of course they've won, they're taking 10 milligrams of MJ a week. So, but likewise, if you've decided to use MJ, I don't want you to miss, you still need to nail the basics, right? You still need to nail the basics. You still need to nail your calories, right? You still need to do your steps, right? You still need to do what we need to do. So, but yeah, it's, I will always adjust things as needed. I'm nothing if not predictable. I don't think you are predictable, Paula, but in this one, I sort of knew the week how it was going to pan out. But what I want you to have, actually, I think when you get to Friday, you won't give a toss. You're just going to have some food freedom. I told you the reasons for that. And then Monday, I think psychologically, just going up, you'll be straight back at it. Jenny Ratcliffe, good evening on Facebook. Anas is on holiday. Watching it all from Sharm el Sheikh. I was in Sharm in March. Very, very nice. Hope you're going snot out. Well, the weather will be flipping hot, mate. It'll be flipping hot now. Can't wait to get started with you when I'm back. I need to come my mother. Oh, brilliant. Hopefully you can help us. I will try my very best, mate. Even if we have both already lost weight. Yeah, I do get a lot of clients that do come on board that have already lost a decent amount of weight. In fact, I've just took a client on a week last Monday, and they're 9 stone into their weight loss journey. 9 stone in. But they've come on plan with me because they don't feel they've lost their 9 stone in the most healthy, sustainable fashion. They're worried they've sort of got to a point hitting that brick wall, and they don't want the journey to end. They love being 9 stone lighter. It's changed their lives. So we're kicking it back in. So yeah, although you've lost weight, you might have to adjust a little bit. I don't know if you're coming on plan or if you're just joining the community, but you might have to adjust a little bit from what you're currently doing. But that's just part of it, and I'll help you with that. Love fruit from the UK so much now. Certain fruits, are just, when they're in season here and grown, they are absolutely amazing. And I just think it's a little bit of certain fruits that are native to, I don't know what fruits are native to Spain, but certain fruits that be native to Spain. Tenerife is one of the biggest exporters of bananas. Right, absolutely. That's their main. I think that is their main. That's Tenerife's main GDP. I might be wrong there. I think a lot of you'd say tourism. I'm positive it's bananas. Right. Anyway, a Tenerife banana is fantastic. It's a very good banana. Right. But you didn't. Go scroll through TikTok. There's a billion users on TikTok, and whatever country you're in, right, as long as you're allowed TikTok, there are certain countries that don't allow TikTok. But anyway, whatever country you're in, if you're allowed TikTok, you're on TikTok, I guarantee there is no one else on the live bigging up Tenerife bananas right about now. That's what you get with me. All right, top tier banana in Tenerife. Anyway, but yeah, fruits that are native. Oranges, I just said, from Florida. Sensational. It's Tropicana. Oh, how good's a glass of Tropicana? Though, Tropicana to me recently has gone more bitter. It's not as sweet as it used to be. Is that just me? I don't really have it that often. I always get a carton at Christmas. I'm quite partial to a screwdriver, and I'm also like a glass of fresh orange is quite nice. I go through phases with fruit juice. Sometimes I have it in, Sometimes I'll have it in. Sometimes it's nice to have a little glass in the morning. You know, yes, it is quite high in natural sugars, and you don't get a lot of the fibre, but you still get a lot of vitamins and minerals in good quality fruit juice. I'm not talking about from concentrate, but yeah, the last carton of Tropicana I had at Christmas, the orange one, bits or no bits. What's your preference? It was quite sour. It wasn't as sweet as it normally is. Don't ask me why. Anyway, I feel a bit low energy today, but Cal's have still been good and got my steps in, so happy with that. Brilliant, Lauren. And do you know what? We question ourselves a lot. And sometimes we have to accept some days our energy will be a bit lower. Some days it'll be a bit higher. Some days appetite will be a bit higher. Some days it'll be a bit lower. Right? Now, the only time we ever really need to look into things if we're worried about something is if your energy is low day in, day out for weeks on end, something's going on, right? And we can change that. Likewise, if you're hungry day in, day out for a week or two, something's going on. But every now and then, you're going to get, I do get people message me and go, or even comments where people go, oh, I just had a really high calorie day yesterday. When was your last high calorie day? 3 months ago. It's going to happen every now and then. Stop worrying about it. Stop being so overcritical. If you're like, well, when was your last? I just had a really high calorie day yesterday. All right. Well, when was your last one? Saturday. And when was the one before that? Friday. Right. Okay. Right. All right. So you're having high calorie days day in, day out, basically. But if it's literally like once a month or once every 2 months where your appetite just races away and you can't control it, it is what it is, Rachel was like that on Thursday. For whatever reason on Thursday, and she was really beating herself up about it. And I'm like, Rach, sometimes you've just got to run with it. You've done amazing on your journey. You're controlling your calories day in, day out. I keep telling her I think she's being a bit restrictive, but I don't really get involved too much because you don't mix business and pleasure, and we'll just end up arguing, right? So and every now and you've just got to run with it. And she was really beating herself up about it on Thursday. She's like, oh God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, Rach, you used to be like this once, twice a week. You're like this now once every 6 weeks or something like that. Stop over analyzing, stop over criticizing yourself because it's just going to spiral. When you start criticizing yourself and being hard on yourself, you're just triggering emotional eating. That's it. You're just beating yourself up. Right? I think sometimes we do it on purpose. Sometimes it's a bit of self-sabotage mentality. And then obviously Sunday yesterday, me and Rach, we both sort of get to the end of the week and we're like, right, how have your calories been this week? Right. And we just have a little, like I do my weekly weight loss vlog, we just have a little look back. And Rachel's calories last week were averaging, Rachel burns 2,500 calories a day and she averaged 1,890 calories a day last week. And I'm like, all that shit you give yourself on Thursday and on Friday, you were like, no, I can't do it today because I had a bad day yesterday. I'm like, I didn't have a bad day. But again, it's working on that mindset. And in the end, I'm like, you were in a 600 calorie day deficit last week. That's 4,200. You've lost over a pound of body fat last week, and you've had a bit of a high calorie day. And she was like, no, you're right. Shit. We don't like telling each other we're right. It's one of them. It's one of them. Neil, I don't know if you remember me, but I was on a plateau. You were right about the scales family. Right. Roxy, I'd seen you come on and then say something, and I said trigger my memory. For whatever reason, Facebook's the same now. It has moderation AI, right? So basically, you've got like an AI moderator. So certain questions trigger the AI where I have to approve them. It's quite good on Facebook, to be fair. Anyway, help. I'm eating a huge deficit. Working my butt off in the gym 6 days a week and no loss. You're not in a huge deficit then, Kat, if I'm being honest with you. I'm eating 1,500 to 1,700 calories a day, doing 45 minutes and 12,000 steps every day. Right. Okay. So, Kat, I'm going to be like, I'm not wanting to trigger you or anything like that. I'm not calling you a liar, but you've got an amazing amount of movement, right? So if you were 10 stone, right, you'd be in a calorie. Right, my TD says I'm 2,800 calories. I'm weighing out literally everything I'm eating. Kat, you're not in a calorie deficit, right? And this is Why? We need to find that out. But, if you're burning 2,800 calories a day, now you've used TDE. First of all, what have you used to calculate your calories? Right? What have you used to calculate calories? Right? Now, if you've used tdecalculator.net or something like that, an online free calorie calculator, you have got to take that with a pinch of salt, right? But anyone, if you were 11 stone and you were doing 45 minutes a day of exercise and 12,000 steps a day, and you're eating between 15 and 1,700 calories a day, you'd be in a calorie deficit and you'd lose weight. So if you weigh more than 11 stone, right, you definitely would be in a calorie deficit. So if you're not, ChatGPT did it for me. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I know AI is pretty decent, but trust me, all ChatGPT is doing is tapping into another free online calorie calculator. Okay. So at your current weight, Kat, if you were eating 15 to 1,700 calories a day and doing that much movement, right, you're in a massive calorie deficit. So when you say the scales haven't moved, over what time period? Right? How long have you been doing this for? Right? That's my next bit of information. Trust me, I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Whether you like the answer or not is another matter. But I'll tell you exactly what's going on. But I'm just fishing for a little bit of information. I lost 2 kilograms in 10 days, nothing for 21 days since. All right. So you're not eating 15 to 1,700. You can swear blind to me. I'm weighing everything. Everything's going in my app. You might be doing it for a few days a week, but consistently, you're not doing anything. Steroid-dependent PCOS doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. It can make the difference in how consistent you are being, but you're literally like, I'm doing this, right? You're not. So first of all, we need to find out why you think you're eating 15 to 16, between 15 and 1,600 calories a day, and you're not. Right? That's the first thing we need to find out. Because it doesn't matter if you're steroid dependent or you have polycystic ovaries, you can't defy the laws of physics. It's physically impossible. What you're saying to me, Kat, is you're a car that's driving around all day and you don't burn petrol. That is what you're basically saying. That is what you're saying. Don't get wrong, fat loss and fat burning are two different things. But that is what you are saying. And the honest truth is, you're not. So you are either being inaccurate in what you are putting in your app, right? And I know you're saying you're weighing everything, or you're being inaccurate in consistency of tracking, right? So you're tracking 3-4 days a week. You're not tracking some days a week. You're tracking Monday to Friday. You're not tracking at the weekend. Unless I'm sleepy, nothing else is going in. Kat, for whatever reason, you do not defy the laws of physics. It is physically impossible. If you were the one person on the planet that could, you would be a billionaire, right? You'd be an Avenger or something like that. You're not. So you are not eating 15, 1,600 calories a day consistently. You are not, right? Because you would lose fat. That's a guarantee, right? It's mathematics, right? A lot of people, and I said this the other day, right? Your body will never stop you losing weight, but you can stop your body losing weight. And that is what's happening. You think your body is not allowing you to lose body fat. Nonsense. If you've got excess body fat, your body wants to get rid of it. That's what it's there for. It is there to make up that deficit, right? Inches are going down, scales on. I've gone from struggling to lift 3 kilograms to now lifting 20. Okay. And don't think it's because you're gaining muscle and not losing fat, because you'll never counterbalance the loss of body fat with the gain of muscle. Look, Kat, at the end of the day, I'm telling you what's happening. You then need to find out why. And like I say, I've had a million people come on these lives, not a million, but you know what I mean? I've had loads of people come on these lives and in exactly the same situation as you, right? I'm doing this. I'm doing X. I burn Y. Fat loss isn't happening. If your scales haven't, when you lost your 2 kilograms, right? Definitely not. I'm not saying you're lying, and that's the thing. I didn't want to trigger you. subconsciously, so I'm not saying you're sat there going, I'm doing this, but we do it we do it without realizing it. We think we're doing everything right. And for whatever reason, you're not. Now, don't get me wrong. I never look into plateaus for more than 4 weeks or more. But at the very start of a journey, if you've lost 2 kilograms pretty much straight away, 4.4 pounds, and then the scale, you've not even lost any body fat because you're 4.4 kilograms, because you're moving a bit more, eating probably a bit healthier, drinking a bit more water, eating a bit more water, then you've lost a bit of food weight and water weight. I don't feel you've ever been in a calorie deficit, right? So whatever your calorie maintenance is, I'm not saying it's 2,800, though if I'm being honest with you, it won't be a million miles away for the amount of movement you're doing with your current weight. You're eating on average that. So like I say, we play tricks with ourselves, right? So we need to get you to be consistent. It really is that simple. Yeah. Right. Hiya, you did my calories today, and I'm so scared as they are so high. They're not so high. You've just been given a really rubbish amount of calories, right? But everyone's scared of calories. You do read a nutritional label, Anna, right? Go read a nutritional label. Tell me what it says the average adult needs. 2,000 calories a day. I've given you less than that. So why are you so scared? Right? You've got good level of movement, right? I know you've not got much weight to lose, but you've got a good level of movement, right? So the average adult doesn't do your movement, and they can eat 2,000 calories a day. So why can you not eat 1,800? That's all I've given you. 1,800 is not a lot of calories. And Anna, if you're sat there going, well, another TikToker did them at around 300 calories lower, well, go use the other TikTokers' calories and starve yourself to death, right? And I mean that sincerely. Like, who do you trust? Because if you're just going to bounce from one person to another person, come to me because you trust me. If you don't trust me as a coach, don't come to me, right? And I mean that sincerely because it's like, well, this person gave me 300, right? And this person gave me this, and this person gave me that. I told you this morning why that person gives out free calories, right? Because they want you to fail, and they want you to come back and then sign up. I don't do that nonsense, right? You want to work with me, you work with me. I give you the right amount of calories for your movement, right? My clients have lost over 15,000 pounds of body fat. That's my one-to-one clients. That doesn't even include my community clients, right? 15,000 pounds. I had 6 clients last year hit over 100-pound loss markers, right? Like my results speak for themselves. I've been doing this 4 years online. I've been a personal trainer for 8 years, right? I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here, just give them this rubbish amount of calories, because I want you to lose the weight, and I want you to go and tell your mate, work with a real loss boss. He's amazing, right? I didn't feel starving. I had loads of energy, right? He actually gave me an amount of calories that I felt I could actually stick to consistently and live a bit of life. And, while I've been working with him, I've lost a stone in 3 months, right? I'm not going to do something to sabotage my own business. I'm not going to go, right, let's give this person a wrong amount of calories. She'll never lose any weight off eating those calories. And then all she's going to do is slag my business off to everybody else, saying that real loss boss, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It doesn't make sense, does it? I want you to have weight loss success, not just because of my business, because it's my passion. I absolutely love it when my clients check in. And Anne-Marie, come sign up to my one-to-one plan then. Come sign up to my one-to-one plan. Check in with me on a regular basis. Share your food diary with me. Let's really go into it and let's work together properly, right? Don't get me wrong. You'll get some support in my community, but if you genuinely want this stone off, my one-to-one plan is 3 months commitment, right? You listen to me, follow my advice, check in with me on a regular basis every couple of weeks, right? We'll lose that stone in 3 months, right? Come sign up to the one-to-one plan, yeah? But I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But at the end of the day, like, I can't I can't say that enough. Like if you don't trust in me as a person, then don't come and work with me. And I mean that to anyone out there. I want you guys to put your faith in me, because if you put your faith in me, you're going to trust the process. I know it's a cliche saying, and you're going to give it your all. If you come on board with me and go, I don't trust him, so I'll just eat less anyway, what's the point? What is the absolute point in investing the money and paying, right? So, and I get it, but Anne-Marie, you've worked with me before, right? Now, you worked with me before in the community. You didn't work on one-to-one. So let's go one step further, right? And I get it. Our relationship with weight loss is broken. We have got more people on the internet, on social media, giving out more misinformation than giving out proper information. Random people going, send me your weight, free calorie calculators here, send me your weight, send me your thing, send me your this, send me your that. Now, what they are going to do is give you misinformation. Why? Because by giving you misinformation, for whatever reason, they think you're going to, and you might do, you're then going to go back to them and go, you gave me 1,500 calories a day 2 months ago. I've been sticking to it and it doesn't work, right? And I'm not losing any weight. And they're going to go, right, well, do you know what? It might be because of this issue. It might be, I think you need more help than that. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you want to lose your weight, come invest in some one-to-one coaching and we'll do it together, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't offer a miracle cure. I'm not a miracle worker. I wish I was. Honestly, and I mean that sincerely. I wish I could click my fingers for every one of you and solve your weight issues, because I've suffered with weight for years and years and years, and I know how horrible it is. And that is the main reason why I want you guys to succeed. Whether you've just got a stone to lose or you've got 10 stone to lose, right? I want you to have weight loss success, because your issues with your weight is relative to you. And I know how hard it is to live a life where you're constantly struggling and unhappy, right? And that is my driving force for helping you guys out. That's why I get accused all the time on social media. Misinformation, telling people to eat ultra processed foods, telling people to eat seed oils, telling people to do this, telling people to do that, And I'm like, I'm not the one spreading misinformation here, right? You've all been lied to, but because I'm not 6 foot, well, I am 6 foot, 6'5", but because I'm not there with a six pack, with great big wide shoulders and massive, huge muscles, and I've got loose, flappy skin, people are like, well, what does he know about weight loss? Well, I used to be over 500 pounds, right? And I've lost over half my body weight. So I know a little bit, So, and I get it, Do you do check-ins too, mate, with your one-to-one? Absolutely. Yeah, every 2 weeks. So you don't need to check in more than that, right? You really, really don't. I'm here every day. I'm on a live pretty much every day, Monday to Friday. I do Zoom sessions. You can WhatsApp me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? If I'm asleep, I'll get back to you when I wake up. But every couple of weeks, check in. So I'm a fat loss coach, right? If you're a bodybuilding coach and you want to tweet, in 3 days we'll tweak your cars. I don't do that. I'm a weight loss coach, right? I coach you to lose weight. You don't need to check in any more than any 2 weeks. And for most people, if they jump on the scales and weigh any more than that, the fluctuations will mess with the head. So I do one-to-one check-ins, and it is really, you honestly don't need to check in any more than that with me, You're the only one I trust, Kelly T. Thank you very much. I mean to ask you, I'm away for check-in July. I can't remember. Do we just skip that one? We'll sort that out near in time. If anyone's away on my one-to-one plan. So, I had a couple of people checking this week. It's summer holidays, so I had a couple of people checking this week, and they just sort of said, right, next check-in, I'm away. What should I do? And Lucy said, right, we'll check in next. When are you away? A week on Monday. Right, well, we don't normally do weekly check-ins, but just to keep you accountable, to keep your head in the game, you've checked in this Friday, let's do a check-in next Friday, right? Then you go away on holiday, and if you want to send a post-holiday weight in, you can do. And when you send your post-holiday weight in, we can then decide when you're going to come back and do your first official check-in after holiday, and then we'll just go fortnightly from there. So it's just, it's one of them. If someone checks in, for example, on the Friday and they go away on the Saturday for 2 weeks, right? And so they miss like the following check-in, it might be a case of, right, you get back on the Saturday, start again on the Monday, and you have just missed a check-in. It might fall like that. If you're away for a week, generally we can angle it where, we'll do a slightly shorter check-in before you go away, just to keep you accountable, just to keep you accountable. How often do you recommend weighing in? Once every 2 weeks, Friday mornings. That is the best day to get the most accurate representation of your current weight on a Friday. Why? Because most of us consume more calories Saturday, Sunday, or we consume more foods, or even if we're still quite restrictive with our calories, instead of being more fruit and veggies, we might spend our calories on more refined carbs. That causes weight gain. It causes water weight gain, food weight gain, water retention gain. Right? It causes all of those three things. And that shows a Monday morning is the worst day to weigh. The worst day, right? Fridays are the best. So I recommend, and if you go every couple of weeks, you're giving yourself a really good chance of seeing some decent fat loss on the scales, right? You're not going to be susceptible to see daily fluctuations, which can mess with your head. And don't get me wrong, we need to learn about daily fluctuations, but we need to create a healthy relationship with the scales first. Once we create a healthy relationship with the scales and we really start, we're a lot more positive. We're a few months into our journey. We're sort of starting to understand that the scales don't just measure our fat; they measure our weight, what weight. Eventually you'll be able to weigh as often as you want. But at the start, when you're emotionally attached to the scales and you've got a rubbish relationship with weight loss and you're flipping down in the dumps anyway because you're the heaviest you've ever been, leave the scales alone. Honestly, leave those scales alone. Right, let me scan off. Boss, it's all about balance with you and sustainability. It is. I just coach real life stuff, to be honest with you. Can't be bothered with all these people that think they're absolute robots. And I can't be bothered with all, this self-righteous sort of rhetoric now that I'm better than you because I just eat steak and eggs. They don't. Absolute nonsense. Honestly, they make me chuckle, people. I don't think people realize what social media is. Social media is, I had this woman last week. She was absolutely berating, I'd rather eat clean than count calories, and I'd rather do this, and I'd rather do that, and I'd rather do the other. Right? So, social media. You're looking at my page. I'll have a little look at your page. Post from 2 days ago. Amazing Smash Brother burgers and chips. Right? And then you go into the comments on there and the friends are commenting, oh, that looks amazing. It was, I demolished it. And then so I called her out for it, right? That was my husband's burger, as if I'd eat something like, oh, shut up, right? You've been caught out. Just hold your hands up. You're acting like this self-righteous monarch, like on social media, and don't eat flipping this and don't eat that and don't eat a piece of bread or don't eat, a bit of breakfast cereal, something like that. And you're having a smash burger and chips, love, fried in seed oils, which there is absolutely zero evidence anywhere, right, to suggest that seed oils are unhealthy. All these, it raises your inflammatory markers, it's poison for the body, it's this, that, and the other. Seed oils are made in the same way as engine oil. Why does something made in the same way mean it's the same thing? Like, you bake bread in an oven, you bake bricks in an oven. It doesn't mean when you eat bread, you're basically eating bricks. Honestly, people's logic, it blows my mind. Like, how people tie the shoelaces, let alone get through life at times. But yeah, and we have got this sort of like right uppity thing with social media. But as the saying goes, it's keyboard warriors. You can be whoever you want to be behind a phone. When you're sat behind a phone, right, like, you can be Superman. You can be a maths teacher. You can be a super clean eater. You can be a professional the amount of professional bodybuilders and degrees in nutrition. Well, I've got a degree in nutrition. And I'm going through the Facebook profile, and I'd be surprised if the GCSE spelt fudge. Honestly, I'm like, and you've got a first class honours degree in nutrition, right? And it's like, honestly, social media it's a bonkers place. It really, really is. Anyway, I can't even read your name, I'm afraid, on YouTube. But I'm 340. I need help. Come get it. I'm here. It's what I do. Honestly, it's what I do. It's what I love to do. It's what I'm passionate about. And that's why I talk like this, because I am passionate about helping people. I am passionate about people wanting to lose weight, right? And when, I get it. And I'm not personally having to go at people when they question me, right? But that's what they're doing. I don't trust you, Neil, right? You've given me amount of calories. I'll gain weight eating that. I'm like, well, why did you come to me? Right? And I get it, because we are broken with weight loss. And a lot of people have gone, I've eaten 1,200 calories a day and I can't lose weight. You're not eating 1,200 calories a day, right? Any adult on this planet that eats the same amount of calories that a 10-year-old should be eating would lose body fat. But we convince, and this is what I was trying to say to the lady before, that was, she weighs this, she does an amazing amount of movement, she's hardly eating anything, and she's not seeing any fat loss. The only answer is you're not eating what you think you're eating. And I know a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, it is a fairly short period of time. There could be something going on that's counterbalancing. She has got PCOS. She is steroid dependent. So steroids can cause excess water retention. Is that reactive? It could be. I don't know. I'm just on social media surmising. Steroids and PCOS do not make a jot of difference to fat loss. And if she is eating this amount of calories and doing this much movement, she would be losing body fat. Is there something else that's counterbalancing the scale? So she is losing body fat because she says she's losing inches, and something possibly, but she's putting herself in a really big deficit there. So even if some excess water retention from her steroids is flaring up a little bit, she's caught time of the month at the same time as while she's weighing something else. Over 3 weeks, with she is putting herself in probably a deficit over 3 weeks where you should be losing 6 or 7 pounds of body fat, right? And she's not seeing a thing move off the scales apart from an initial 2 kilograms, which is probably a little whoosh, right? So we've got to be a little bit realistic, right? And, some people would sit there and go, right, well, let's look at it. The honest truth is, for me personally, now, if you come and work with me and you give me a bit more information and we are doing regular check-ins, and I don't share my food. I can only share my food diary on NutriCheck with 10 people. But when I do get clients that are really, and I share and I save those slots for clients that are really struggling. If I get clients that are really struggling, I will share my NutriCheck with them. And then that'll allow me to sort of look at their diary and sort of have a look and see what's going on. And not that I want to be Big Brother, but I can see when they're filling in their diary, because I get notifications, such and such has updated their diary. I did it with a client last year. She was really, really struggling. And, doing the same thing. I'm eating this. I don't know what's going wrong. I've asked my partner. My partner says, yeah, you're definitely in a calorie deficit. As if your partner's going to sit there and go, are you in a calorie deficit? You're flipping, the fridge is quivering, every time you go near it. Like, your partner's not going to say that, are they? They don't want to cause an argument. They don't want you to thingy. So, and as soon as you're looking for justification from your partner, I'm in it, aren't I? Like, that's answering the question. And I shared my diary with this person, and they were updating the diary all over the place. There were gaps in it. They were, updating it at night time, not pre-tracking, not planning ahead. And it just tells a story. And again, I don't want to be Big Brother, but if you want help and you want me to, I can see the error, and I'll go, right, here we go. These are the little tweaks that we need to change, I've down days thinking I'm not getting anywhere with my weight, and I eat, and I eat doesn't make sense. Emotional eating, Donna. Emotional eating. It's a vicious cycle. It really, really is. I have days where, I'm getting, I'm not getting out of my way. I'm getting really peed off. And because of that, I'll just self-sabotage and eat food. Right. Whereas the logical thing would be, right, well, maybe I need to eat a little bit less. Maybe I need to, and it's not like you're not even getting it. You are getting somewhere. It's a self-sabotage mentality and it's emotional eating. And it's just something we need to work on. Just signed up to one-to-one plan, mate. Gaza, brilliant. We'll get you going on Monday. Let's have a little Scooby-Doo. Awesome, mate. From signing up, Gaz, there is what was I going to say? Get into your plan email, into your emails. There'll be an order confirmation. In there are some downloads. It's a lot easier to do it off an iPad or a laptop than it is off a phone. But if you have any issues, mate, just message me tomorrow. I'll message you anyway. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, I'll message you anyway because I can email all the bits and pieces directly over to you. I'll add you to WhatsApp and I'll get in touch. And we'll get your plan written up. Get your consultation form over to me. We'll get your plan written up. You'll have it by Thursday, and we'll get you going on Monday, mate. And we'll looking forward to getting you started. But I think I've sent the wrong email address, mate. It's got your surname. And then a lady's name, and then at Yahoo. So if you have, mate, don't worry about it. Just send me if you can sort out the downloads, or if you're like, I ain't got access to that email, let me know and I'll sort it. Yeah, that's wrong. Right, Gaza, is your mobile number right? I assume your mobile number's right. Does it end in 707? Your mobile? Let me know, and I'll sort it. Let me have a scan up. Yeah, mate. Right, I'll WhatsApp you after this live. And just send me the email address you want to use, and I'll add it in. And I won't do it tonight because I'm going to go to bed. But tomorrow morning, when I'm back in the office, I'm doing a live tomorrow, guys, 8:30 till 9:30. I'll email you all the bits and pieces over, and then you've got them all straight to your email. Right, let me sign it. If anyone wants to come on one-to-one plan and start with Gaza on Monday, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, click on the link tree, click on the one-to-one plan, get signed up, and we will get you started on Monday. I did run 6.1k today. That's amazing. Well, you're really into running at the moment, which is good. It's the first I've run so far in less than an hour. Superb. I couldn't imagine anything worse than you seeing my food diary. Share it with me this week, Paul. Come on, share your nutrition. Let's see what's going. Let's see what's happening. I'll only be jealous. I'll only be jealous if you're not. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I am so ready. I can't even tell you. I'm frothing at the gills, ready to go on holiday, and I'm having a full break. I'm ready for a pint. I've not had a pint for a month, right? So I'm ready for a beer. And do you know what? I've hardly drunk this year in the UK, and I'm not genuinely missing it. But I'm looking forward to sitting in 30-degree heat. Hopefully, it's 30-degree heat. Watching the world go by, overlooking the beach with a nice cold beer in my hand. Oh, I can't wait. A bag of Lay's on the balcony, Fanta lemon. I'm absolutely. I'm counting it. It's 11. I've just checked in online. Actually, it's like it says 11 days, X amount of hours or whatever. I've not had a good Monday. I've eaten so much junk. I don't know why I do this. Sometimes, again, it's a little bit self-sabotage mentality. Life of Ren, all I can tell you is, right, be accountable to yourself. Make sure you track it. There's no need to shoot in the dark. What we eat doesn't make a difference to fat loss directly, all right? If we've got a really poor diet, we might be hungry more. It might increase cravings in certain things. It might make us tired, which makes us, less enthusiastic, less motivated. But, at the end of the day, be accountable. Put it in your app, see where your calories are at, right? And I guarantee if you do that, we have this association, because I've eaten this way, I'm getting fat. And when you actually track it all, yeah, it might not have been the healthiest of foods. It might not have been the most nutritious of foods. But if you track it all, I guarantee you'll be in a much better position than you actually think you are in. Right? I genuinely mean that. Even Liam is tracking better than me. Come on, set an example, Paul. Come on, Liam. Keep setting an example to your mum. That's good, though. I think with Liam, though, from what you've said about it, I think he, again, not to get obsessive or fixated, but I think if he gets into routine, it will just become routine. Spicy meat feast protein pizza, so good from Lidl. Do you know what? I'm going to go into Lidl. They've apparently brought out loads of it. I did a shopping vlog in there a bit ago, and they brought out some new protein bits and pieces, and they weren't in. So I'm going to go and have a drive in. I don't think I'll get there tomorrow. I might go and have a little look on Wednesday and see what they've got. It's pretty boring. It's basically empty. Right? So is that why we're not seeing your app, Paula? There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Like, what is it? Obi-Wan. These are not the droids you're looking for. Yeah, is that kind of how it works? Right. Let me scan up, see what I've missed, and see what's going on. I love watching your lives. I learned so much. Jenny, thank you. Oh, Jenny, you switched from Facebook to TikTok. Hello. Thank you very much. And I do waffle. I do go off on rants sometimes. I do go off on tangents a lot of the time. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. And I think, it is because I'm passionate. And I want everyone. I love my business. I love my job. And I love seeing people succeed. And that's all I want from people. So, but I do get it. I do understand it. It is very hard. We get pushed from pillar to post. There is a lot of misinformation out there. We don't know who to trust. But I just think, and this is why I do so many lives, because I do believe, don't get me wrong, when you join the community, it's a £5, it's not a lot of money, but still for people to just go and chuck a £5 in willy-nilly, there has to be a level of trust there. I don't just go and chuck £5 about left, right, and centre. It's not a lot of money, and if I think something's worth a £5, I'm more than happy to spend it. But, like I say, I just want all of you to smash your journey, Same here, mate. Learned a lot. Cheers, Paul. Thank you very much. You can tell when I'm not on it, I'm such a negative Nelly. Well, do you know what, Paul? I know, and like I say, I sort of knew how this week was going to go, but just try your best, honestly, and then we'll see where we go from Monday. Easy to view on TikTok because you can minimise the app. Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? I suppose if you're on Facebook, I don't know how you watch it on Facebook or YouTube. I know a lot of people like the YouTube lives and stuff because it is. You can stick it on your telly, you can stick it on your iPad, you can sort of. I mean, why you'd want me on your 60-inch TV? I have no idea, but I know it is easier to watch back. I watch loads of YouTube though. I do watch loads of YouTube. It is class. Like you just connect your phone straight to. Like I just literally every lunchtime I just connect my phone to my Skybox. The problem is you can run away. Like next thing you sat there and you're like, yeah, I've not moved for an hour and I've got loads of work to do, so I need to get moving. But yeah, I watch loads of YouTube. I do like vlog. I love. Got a few friends on TikTok that have started doing travel vlogs. Like I don't know, I say friends, the TikTok friends, as it were. Like I've just met them through TikTok, chatting through TikTok, and this, that, and the other. And they've just started, and I'm jealous. I genuinely am in a good way. Like I'm envious, really. It's jealousy and envy. Jealousy, being envious. Can you be jealous and envious in a good way? I think you can. Like I do have, one regret of mine from being overweight, and I don't really have, like I say, I'm a big believer in what I call like the butterfly effect. So what's happened throughout my life is what's led me to be here today. And I'm as happy as I could be. And I absolutely love my life. And I love my job. And I love everything. And, that one little change in time, I could have lost my weight 10 years earlier than I lost it. Would I be sat doing TikTok? No, I might be sat in a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job. I don't know. I just don't know. So I don't really want to change anything. But I love traveling. And I could never really travel much at 37 stone. And I certainly couldn't, I'm definitely like, I would love to have gone like backpacking or, don't get me wrong, I say that. Rachel's like, no, you wouldn't. You ain't slumming it. You're a right snob when it comes to hotels and stuff. And I'm generally not. I like value for money. But yeah, I'm 45. I've never been camping in my life. Yeah, I would love to have gone and seen like more of the world. And I'm not saying I won't. And we do get away on a few holidays. But yeah, I've got a couple of mates that are just like, right, I'm off to, I'm taking a year out. We're off to, and they're in a situation where, social media is paying for it. And I'm like, I would love to be doing that. I really, really would. I had a couple of days seeing myself size I used to be. Think it was TOTM hormones, but it's a hard one. Body dysmorphia, that Faye. What you need to do, body dysmorphia. So body dysmorphia, there's lots of kind of varieties of it. But it's basically when you look in the mirror and you see something different, right? So bodybuilders get it. So a bodybuilder look in the mirror and they'll see this stick thin person when the reality is they're absolutely hench as anything. What ex or ex fat people get is we do look back and see 37. I see 37 stone Neil in the mirror, right? And I don't really anymore. I've not done this for years, but I did. When I first started, about 2016, 2017, I struggled. And then my body dysmorphia actually kicked back in when I started personal training. And I think why I was very self-conscious when I was personal training, because I'm not a personal trainer, right? And what I mean by that is, if someone said, describe a personal trainer, they ain't describing, 6'5", not knees, walks with a slight limp. Do you know what I mean? Waggly loose skin everywhere. That's not a personal trainer. They'd be like, well, lean, six pack, muscles, boyish good looks, and all this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely don't. Not flipping out. Look at the state of my forehead. I look like one of them dogs. What are them dogs called that have just got loads of holes in skin? Not a chow. What are they called? A Shar-Pei. Like one of them. No Botox got in this forehead, is there? That's definitely never happened. So yeah, I was very I was a bit body dysmorphic when I started personal training, because a lot of the PTs in the gym we're that sort of picture. Not quite at Ribior. It didn't quite work like that, because it's a slightly different dynamic there. But yeah, I was a little bit, body dysmorphic. I used to carry a picture though. I used to have a picture of myself at 37 stone in my gym bag. And when it happened, and this is what I recommend anyone that's lost a decent amount of weight but still sees themselves as that, fat person, at their heaviest, honestly, get get a picture of yourself where you're at the largest you've ever been, right? Or a picture that you just hate, right? We've all got that picture, haven't we? Where, and just print it out and put it somewhere in a bag. And every time you've got it and you're looking in the mirror, get it out and hold it up. This is what I started to do. And I used to stand, and again, a bit of logic kicks in and goes, this is what you were. This is you now. You now isn't that, is it? And you're like, no, you're right. Right. And honestly, it helped me. It helped me. So hopefully it would help you. Looking forward to the podcast, How You Become a Trainer. I'm recording it and it'll be out Thursday. I'm going to push for Thursday. So I will be recording it. I've got my recipe sorted this week. I've started worth the calories. So I might even, no, I won't do it tomorrow, because we've got the weight loss coaching live at 11. I've got the weight loss coaching live at 11. I think I'm going to do something on movement tomorrow. I think I'm going to do an exercise sort of thing tomorrow. I know exercise isn't necessarily weight loss, but do you get a few people, do you class steps as exercise, do you class this? And I've done the YouTube folders, and there isn't really much in the movement section. So we're going to do exercise tomorrow, guys, on the exercise. Sort of like a bit of an exercise one. I'm going to talk about what I class as exercise, why it's important. I think I've done some all things steps. Let's do all things exercise tomorrow. Just as something a little bit different. So we'll do that one. And then, so probably for Wednesday, I'll get the podcast recorded. Yeah, so I'm going to do from £500 to personal trainer in 4 years. That is going to be the podcast. I'm just going to talk about, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about really. I'm just going to talk about my journey and my thoughts behind it, why I wanted, why I decided to go down the personal training route, how I, started at the gym as a personal trainer, becoming a full-time personal trainer in 2019. Boundaries that I felt, again, thinking there, I'm not a personal trainer, I can't be a PT. And then, my qualifications, went to college, how I got them, what my qualifications, I'm going to talk about everything. So I'll probably do a 5-year one, 2014 to becoming full-time. I'm not going to go into like being a full-time, then COVID hit in an hour. Maybe I'll do part 2 from £500 to being a personal trainer to being an online coach. Maybe I'll do it all from personal trainer to online coach. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But I think the £500 to PT in 4 years is probably, it might get a few views and a few listens. So so that'll be out this week. We'll get that out this week. There we go. I worked out my calories on the website you put on one of your videos, and it says I should be on 1,200. To be honest with you, Teresa, if that's a very old video and you use Very Well Fit, they've changed their algorithm on there, and the system's not as good. But I'll be honest with you, if anyone here has been on an online calorie calculator and it says you should be eating 1,200 calories a day, you've either put your information incorrectly, right? You either need to move more or you don't need to lose weight. It's one of those 3 things, right? And if you're coming to me and going, no, I've got a great level of movement and I definitely need to lose weight, then you've probably put your information incorrectly. But online calorie calculators, they have changed. Not they have changed. That Very Well Fit was the best of a bad bunch, but they've changed that. So I don't endorse that one anymore. And actually, from doing that video where I said about doing your calories, I've developed my own online calorie calculator since then. So if anyone wants their calories working out, TikTok profile, click on my link tree, join my community. It's £5 for your first month, and I'll work out your calories. You'll get a full calorie breakdown in your email that's there for life. And the only reason that 11 really need to change is if you lose weight, gain weight, or your movement changes. And if that's the case and you're still part of my community, I'll recalculate them for you whenever you need me to. Right, let me scan down. So Teresa, come sign up, come join the community, and I'll personally work out your calories for you. Right, I think that's it. I think that's definitely it. Oh, it's 6 minutes past 9. Rachel's looking at me. She's ready for bed. I'm ready for bed. What are we watching tonight? There's a new series of My 600 Pound Life. Where are they now? It's continued professional development. I absolutely love My 600 Pound Life. Anyway, so we're about 3 episodes in, so I think we're just going to whack one of them on tonight and watch that while I'm eating my cherries. That is the highlight of my of the rest of my Monday, guys. I will be back tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. So 8:30 till 9:30. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. If you are part of my community or you are on my one-to-one plan, I'll be back at 11 o'clock with tomorrow's weight loss coaching live. I am doing another live Wednesday morning because the Zoom this week on Wednesday is in the evening. So Wednesday morning we're here, Thursday morning we're here, Friday morning we're here every morning this week. No more evening lives apart from if you are on plan or in the community. Wednesday night we've got our Everything Weight Loss Zoom session. And that's about it really. So guys, if you are struggling with your weight loss journey, TikTok profile, click on the link tree, join the one-to-one plan, come join the community. Whichever you choose. If you want the most help, the one-to-one's the one for you. But if you are, you just want your calorie breakdown, a little bit of extra support, come join the community. £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. Right, that's me. I'm out of here. If you're not done with me yet, I brought out a brand new weight loss vlog that came out a couple of hours ago. I'd appreciate if you go and show it some love, give it a little watch. Even if you don't want to watch it, stick it on YouTube on your iPad somewhere and just let it run. Because every view I get paid for. So if you can do that, that would be amazing. If you don't follow me on YouTube, please go and follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube. That would be ace. Right. I'm out of here. Guys, enjoy your Monday evening. And I'll literally be seeing you. I'll sign off to you TikTok first. I will see you in like 11 and a bit hours. So enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of your Monday evening. And I will see you tomorrow. And then over here on Facebook, YouTube, exactly the same. I'll be back at 9:30 8 tomorrow morning for an hour. So if you're